Hello, it's 10 o'clock. Welcome to the weather update. It's August 19th, and they didn't really turn out all that clear. We had a lot of clouds, high clouds, cumulus, and off to the west you could see the smoke, a little bit of smoke there. It's not terribly thick, but you can sort of see it. There it is. You can see the smoke right there off to the west. So this is what we're going to be dealing with tomorrow, and I think Jersey was dealing with it a little bit this afternoon as it was. Looking at the MODIS satellite here, you can see again what we were dealing with. Again, we had a lot of cumulus popping up, and then we had cirrus moving from this upper level low that was kind of sitting over here in upstate New York, Jersey. Also, had a lot of cumulus as well popping up, and some cirrus as well. So it wasn't the clear day we were hoping, and I still got to the Pines for a little bit, just the Deer Park, and you can see this what the sky looked like this afternoon. Just not great at all. Just, I mean, it's pretty, but you didn't have a nice blue sky. You had a lot of high clouds and cumulus around. It really wasn't, sky was not cooperating with us today, unfortunately. And tomorrow we got the smoke, unfortunately. So let's go to the latest, though, before we even talk about our weather, let's talk about the latest about Hurricane Hilary. Hilary is weakened now to I think it's Category 2. Maximum sustained winds 100 miles an hour. So it is weakening. That's the good news. So hopefully it'll get below hurricane status. We'll have to see. It is over cooler water. It's also moving northward quite faster. So let's look at the latest public advisory for Hurricane Hilary. Heavy rain spreading northward over the Baja Peninsula and southwestern United States. Catastrophic and life-threatening flooding likely. So it looks like the main threat from this storm won't be the wind, because, there are a lot of mountains in Southern California. The wind is not going to make it that far inland. It's going to be the heavy rain. As of 6 p.m., its location is 24.4 north, 114.2 west, about 240 miles south-southeast of Punta Eugenia, Mexico, and about 600 miles south-southeast of San Diego, California. Maximum sustained winds are 100 miles an hour, moving north-northwest at 17 miles an hour, so it's moving faster now. Minimum central pressure, 964 millibars on 28.47 inches. We'll look at the latest here. So it's going to be accelerating to the north-northwest and then turn northward in the next day or so. On this forecast track, the center of Hilary will move close to west central coast of Baja California Peninsula tonight and Sunday morning, and then move across Southern California Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. So it happens tomorrow. It starts tomorrow in Southern California. Maximum sustained winds are near 100 miles an hour. Weakening is expected, but it could still be a hurricane when it approaches. It will still be a hurricane when it approaches the west coast of Baja California. Hilary is expected to weaken to a tropical storm before it reaches Southern California. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 45 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 265 miles. A sustained wind of 46 miles an hour and a gust of 58 were recently reported at Laredo, Mexico. The estimated minimum central pressure is 964 millibars, or 28.47 inches. So it has come up at least with that. As it's moving over the cooler water, I mean, the temperatures are water temperatures are below 80. So let's go look at some satellite imagery first of Hilary. So kind of saw the satellite imagery there, but let's go look at Hilary here and see what it looks like. It's probably, you can see how it's getting that pulled up look now. So it's starting to get pulled up by the upper level winds there. You can see that the definition of the eye is definitely weakening, and it looks like at least the center of it might brush Baja. It almost looks like it's going more to the right. So it might not make the impact into San Diego, or it might landfall in Baja, but there's still going to be a lot of rain. You can already see the moisture streaming upward from this storm here as it is. So there's a lot of rain with it. Let's go to the radar. At least it is weakening, but this is still very, very unusual to see. So let's go to the radar and show you already the moisture streaming in already. We have a lot of rain streaming into Las Vegas. We have some rain in Fresno, so there's going to be a lot of heavy rain and Yuma, Arizona, a lot of desert areas where the ground is hard there. Flagstaff might get into it a little bit. The ground is hard, and it's got nowhere to go. It's just gonna run off, and that's how the soil doesn't absorb rain like our soil does. Usually they don't get tropical systems in California. Eventually the rain will make it up into the northwest, hopefully, and do something about those horrible wildfires going on there. We'll talk about that after we talk about Hilary. So let's go to look at the, and you'll see here, tropical storm warning is now in effect. When was the last time you saw this? Tropical storm warning is in effect for San Diego and all the way up to Santa Barbara. And then we have flash flood advisories and warnings, flood advisories, and they'll probably be upgraded into warnings as well. Let's see, now we're not loading here. Of course, we're not loading anything. All right, so it's a flood watch and a high wind warning as well. High wind warnings as well, and there'll be high wind warnings all throughout here as well. So it could still cause power outages. It could still cause power outages. So let's go look at some observations. We're going to start actually in this area here to get an idea of what the effects are already. You can already see some wind gusts up. There's one up near 28, 91. And it's also going to be humid too, which you don't usually have those kind of humid conditions in Southern California, but you're going to see that moving in. And then let's go a little closer to the storm here and get some buoy reports here. And you can see here 75, northeast wind at 34, gusting to 47. Here's Punta Cortez, south at 37, gusting to 49. Let's look at what their wind history was. And yeah, they've had gusts up to 60, so some pretty substantial winds here. And that's what's going to be coming into California, though it will again die down a little bit as it moves north. Though it looks like it is going a little more to landfalling over here versus over here. But it doesn't matter. They're still going to get tropical storm conditions regardless in Southern California. And some areas, like I said, even in inland here, where you just unheard of to get tropical storm conditions here in a place like Yuma, Arizona, for instance, all right? It's just unheard of. So it's definitely something to look at. Let's look at the other thing going on, which is the heat has died down now in the west. You can see the heat has died down. Let's look at some more satellite loops and see what's going on with the wildfires, and we'll also, where's the satellite loop? Did I just close it? I did just close it. I'm not thinking. All right, let's look at the Pacific Northwest. Take a look and see where these. Oh my, yeah! Look at this. So you still have. Look at all these wildfires burning here in the Pacific Northwest. So we have wildfires in Oregon. It's just shrouded in smoke here. Oregon, Washington, incredible, a really large amount of smoke. So these fires are still going absolutely nuts over here. So much smoke, and that looks like there's a big explosion right here. That looks like pyrocumulus. Look at that. That triggered a thunderstorm right there. That wildfire right there on the border of Northern California and Washington. That really triggered. So hopefully this tropical moisture will bring some rain and can make its way over there. But these type of thunderstorms are not the kind you want to have for wildfires. That's not good at all. So that is not good at all. And in fact, I'm going to put this on the GLM flash intensity so we can see the lightning. Oh yeah, there's lightning here, so it's not good. Oh my gosh, yeah, lots of lightning. So all this lightning here could start new wildfires. That's the concern right here that we have. And you can see again, look at all the smoke over there. Really thick smoke all over this whole area. Let's go to the southeastern Alaska view as well. As you can see what's going on in British Columbia, and you can see these fires still going over here. I mean, just look at that. Let's just pause that for a moment. Right there, look at that. That's something. That's a tremendous. I've never seen so many wildfires at once in one area. That's just incredible to see. And we still have the wildfires up here, which you can't see being obscured by the clouds. But that's incredible. That truly is incredible. Let's go to the MODIS. And let's see if we can get. I know it's not showing the west. I don't know what's going on here. We're missing MODIS data. All right, well, MODIS is not going to work. So let's go back to this. Yes, we'll revisit Hilary as well. But let's talk about the smoke here. All right, so yeah, I'm got to watch two things going on here. All right, so here we go. We'll just look at that. Let me go back a little. Look at that. You can see, look at each one of those is a wildfire, and we have wildfire over here too. And they're actually causing power outages as well. We have power outages in California now, 32,000. It's mainly this area here, Del Norte, completely out because of a power line that has been infected by a wildfire. So if we go to Pacific Power, they should have something on their website about this, or maybe in the news. They don't have anything on their website, but they do have something. Wild power line in Del Norte shut off because of approaching wildfires. So what it is the power line is going to burn. The fire is going to go by it and could damage it. They figured just shut it down because this is the update on the emergency de-energization here that's going on. So due to extreme wildfire near Pacific Power has energized a transmission line serving the Crescent City area for the safety of public. The duration of the outage is unknown. So these fires are pretty bad. So this is by Crescent City, California, and the roads are closed too. If we go look at the maps here, you'll see what I mean. So let's take a look at that. So we're jumping between two different disasters that are breaking or happening right now. We have this. This is the head fire. I think they call this that. I don't know. There's a fire right over here in this area right here, and all these roads are closed. So if we look at traffic, you'll see this is all closed. So the transmission line into Crescent City, there's only one power line that goes into Crescent City, and from what I hear, this power line goes down quite a bit, which wouldn't surprise me when you look at it, because it is a wooden line. Let's see if we can get a view of it. It's a wooden line, but you can see it goes through this whole area, which is where the fire is. So that's why they had to shut this power line down. Fire is like over here, all right? So this power line is shut down, and as a result of that, their power is out and will be for the foreseeable future. I don't know why. This is the power line right here, so that's it. So I don't know why that they... this is it's a wooden line here, so I do not know why that they depend on this one transmission line and they don't have Crescent City. I don't understand why, because their power line basically has got to go through mountains and woods and stuff. They really should have a power plant in Crescent City, so this doesn't happen again. All right, I don't know why. This has happened before in storms. They lose power a lot there, apparently, but they're in a blackout basically as a result of this, and because of that, it makes it hard to get information. It makes it hard to see things, and we also have to worry about the fire as well. So, and then we have, let's see, I don't think that the wildfires are affecting too many people in Oregon right now as far as outages go. But there are, like I said, Oregon is really going through. So let's go back to the observations here and look at some of these observations in Oregon, because I'm sure that they were reporting, haze. I look, it says haze. Why is it saying haze? It's smoke. Haze, smoke. It's wildfire smoke. So the visibility is very restricted here due to the smoke. And we may even see some smoke making its way into other places too as well. So Bismarck is not showing it. And then we have, of course, the excessive heat watches and warnings that this heat dome is going to be building for the Midwest next week. But we're going to talk more about Hilary. Let's go to Tropical Tidbits now, and let's go to the latest forecast satellite imagery on Hilary. So we're going to go to storms, current storms, and then we have Tropical Depression 6. Yeah, we have some stuff in the Atlantic, too, as well. I can only deal with one. So this is already a little bit of a diagram there for 6. But let's go to Hilary. So this is Hilary right now. Definitely not looking as intense. Again, it's moving over the cool water. It's interacting with Baja California. So it is weakening. That's the good news. But it's still going to impact Southern California. And I forgot to show the Hurricane Center information. Here's from the Hurricane Center. You can see here, it looks like they're going to have it impact Baja. So the landfall may not be in California. It may actually be just south of the border in Baja, but it will still be a tropical storm when it gets into California and cause a lot of rain. And that's what we're going to start seeing that again tomorrow. So we've never seen tropical storms in California. It's very unusual to see this. This is uncharted territory here. Looking at the spaghetti models, I mean, they pretty much have a consensus on where this thing's going to go. It might make landfall just south of the border, I'm thinking. They can maybe rub along the coast for a little bit before moving completely inland. So let's now go to the models. All right, so we're going to look at Hilary here. All right, so again, this is the models here. We've looked at this a lot, and you see here, GFS still keeps this thing pretty strong as it goes and almost rakes along the coast a little bit. So it might actually turn a little bit and kind of brush along the coast before. We've seen that with hurricanes. Sometimes they brush along the coast. They usually don't ever move. Very rare do they move straight on. They usually brush along the coast for a while before making a landfall. So we're going to see that, and you'll see by tomorrow it's already affecting San Diego pretty badly. And that rain is going to move up and affect eventually that it looks like some of that rain might get into Oregon and along the coast, but a lot of it's going to go a little more toward Montana. But hey, some of it could get up into British Columbia too. So this tropical storm may actually be a good thing as far as the fires go. At least, you can put the fires out with something. You need this is the kind of rain you need to get those fires out, because right now in British Columbia things are pretty bad right now. If we go over here and just wildfires. I mean, just wildfires. So many news here. We have 180. All right, so we have 185 structures destroyed in Eastern Washington fire. Washington fire leaves 1 dead. Gray fire, Washington. British Columbia wildfires intensify. Now we have 35,000 people evacuated from British Columbia. I mean, it's incredible. Look at this. I mean, it's absolutely nuts. So, again, I'll be sharing more videos. Stay tuned to the community posts. I've been sharing a lot of that. It's just incredible what's going on. It really is. But I'm hoping that some of this tropical moisture can get up there, put those fires out. I really hope so. Because we could really use that. So let's look and see how much rain will fall in the next. Let's go all the way out to Thursday here. And you can clearly see the heat dome right here in the middle of the country. So there's plenty of... This is being underestimated. I think it's going to be more like 5 or 6 inches. So this is a lot of rain in areas that they normally don't see it. But unfortunately, it looks like part of Oregon gets the rain, but part of it doesn't. The coastal areas doesn't. But it looks like some of it might get into British Columbia. I'm really hoping it does, because this wildfire season in Canada has got to end. It has to end. I'm telling you, it's just unbelievable. Worst by far, smashed it. Let's put it into this, all right? Because it's horrible. So many people are just, losing their homes, losing their communities, losing everything. Imagine if a wildfire came in. You see it? Look how small Long Island is. Now imagine if you had a wildfire consume Long Island, how many people it would affect. I know these areas aren't as densely populated, but there are cities in there, and it's very concerning. So let's go to the models here. We'll go look at the Southwest U.S. again and look at the GFS here. And we'll take a look at Hilary as it moves up. So you see, it's brushing the coast there. And they'll still get winds, too, but it's going to be the rain. You can see it looks like L.A. might just go east of L.A., so the Inland Empire might get hit very hard by the flooding, and then that moves up, as you see there. But now it's within sight of the short-range model, so let's go look at the HRRR. See how this handles Hilary. So this is the HRRR. Yeah, they all do that. It gets in there, and then it kind of brushes like that. So it looks like it'll make it maybe bend right, which is not good for San Diego, because there's mountains in Baja that might deflect it a little bit. And you see there, look at that pouring rain over. This is an incredible amount of rain. It's going to be tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night in particular. There's going to be a lot of swiftwater rescues. There's going to be a lot of people being flooded. It could be one of the costliest disasters yet to hit at least the southern part of California. As this thing, you can see the low and you can see all the rain it's going to bring here. But it does go, and you see there, it does make its way up into parts of Oregon. But Crescent City does not get help for their wildfire. That's still going to be going, and unfortunately, the winds around the low are going to be like this, which actually could blow the fire toward Crescent City. So Crescent City may be the next place that we're going to have to watch for a possible evacuation. I'm concerned about that, especially because they have no power. It's really not safe to be there when you have wildfires all around, because you can see the low is kind of getting deflected here. they get a little high, and then you got that squeeze play with the winds. So that's not going to be good for the wildfires at all, and that's the problem. So this is the HRRR. Let's go to the NAM 12. I'm going to look at the NAM 12. We have a good amount of the 0Z NAM 12 in. So here's the NAM 12. They all tendency to agree here on this. So yeah, it looks like they all tendency to agree that track right up through San Diego, Palm Springs. This area is just going to get hammered. And let's see how much the NAM puts down for rainfall, because I think this one's going to be a little more. Yeah, you see those little yellow areas? That's like 10 inches of rain. So this is incredible. There's going to be Big Bear is also going to be an area that's going to be impacted very hard. Mudslides, flooding, landslides. It's going to be absolute hell. This is, like I said, going to be one of the worst. Another disaster here, folks. It's just one after another after another. It's constant. It just never stops. Wildfires, floods. And it's just incredible. So let's talk about the winds, which I'm still a little concerned about as well. Here, so you see the winds. The winds do drop off. And like I said, I don't think the wind is going to not help things for sure. But you'll see here that the winds generally do weaken. But it's going to mainly be the rain that's going to be a threat. And you see, again, look at these strong winds over here. That's what I'm concerned about as we get into Monday for Crescent City. That wildfire is to their northeast. So if the winds are coming from the northeast, it could blow that wildfire right into town. And with no power, it's, God help those people. I honestly, if you live in Crescent City, I would just get the heck out of there. There's no power. You have wildfires all around. It's not safe to be there, right? And I think that they should think about evacuating it. So let's go to our weather. I know I haven't talked much about our weather, but we will. Luckily for us, thank God, for now, we're at peace here. All right, we'll be dealing with wildfire smoke tomorrow. Let's look at what we got outside right now. So 70 at Islip. Dew point is 55. I think we might have actually had a sea breeze today for a little bit. Yeah, we did have a little bit of a sea breeze. Winds kind of went southwesterly a little bit. Yeah, they did. It was a sea breeze for a time in the afternoon. But other than that, temperatures are only in the 70s. Breezy conditions. Dew points in the 50s. Very comfortable. I did do a lot of walking today, even though the sky wasn't great. West Hampton is down to 61. So let's look at our highs for the day. You can see we did have a lot of clouds around. So let's go to the highs first. So the highs, upper 70s to around 80 degrees. Same thing for Jersey. Very nice. Lows. Yeah, it would be nice if it showed the lows. And it doesn't want to show the lows. That would be nice if it showed the lows. Come on. He's decided to quit working on me. All right. So, not going to work. All right, let's try it again. There we go. So, I actually got down to 54 this morning in West Hampton. Lows in the low 60s. And upper 50s in New Jersey there. I wish I could enjoy some of that, but instead I got the alley where it's not going to drop below the mid-60s. And somebody's really cooking something that stinks really, really bad. People who live with... I talk about that in another video. Let's set people in here just... I'm not going to say anymore. You can see, though, it is dropping off quite a bit. So it will be a cool night, except, of course, here. But only the cooler areas it will be. You'll be able to turn off your air conditioner, open your windows, and actually get some fresh air. Something I miss so much that I just don't get where I live. So let's look at the weather tomorrow and go to the HRRR and look at the dew points. Just show you the dew points and wind flows just for tomorrow. So west winds continue tomorrow, and they become a little more southwesterly in the afternoon, but the dew points still stay relatively low. Though tomorrow night you'll start to notice an increase in humidity. Temperatures tonight, again, we're going to drop back. Probably a lot of us are going to see lows around 60, though, again, the colder areas will probably see 50s. And then for tomorrow, it will be much warmer as a result of that west-southwest wind. Highs in the mid to upper 80s, closer to 90 in New Jersey. I think Long Island will avoid upper 80s, probably just mid 80s, but closer to 90 in New Jersey. Let's look at the RHM here, and this is kind of no point in it because it's not going to show the smoke, but maybe there'll be less clouds tomorrow, so you might actually see some more sun, but there's going to be more smoke to deal with. So let's look at the RAP model here, vertically integrated smoke. And you'll see there's that smoke heading toward us. So here's tomorrow. Here we are. Tomorrow afternoon. Oh, yeah, it's going to be thick. Tomorrow's sunset could be pretty interesting. And then we have another batch of smoke coming in for Monday. And then it looks like we'll get some air from eastern Canada, which should push, or central or eastern Canada, which should push the smoke down. You can see most of the smoke's now coming from the Pacific Northwest, though. You still see some around Yellowknife as well. So it's still, fires in the Northwest Territories are still going. And we'll have to watch for that as well. But it looks like right now the main area of smoke is British Columbia and Northwest. So it's the main area of smoke that's being generated. Let's look at the near-surface smoke. Well, here's the near-surface smoke. So we may be getting some surface smoke tomorrow, I think. We will. You might smell a little bit of it, though. The thickest stuff is in the Pacific Northwest, a little bit of it in the Great Lakes. And then on Monday as well, you might be getting it. But definitely if you're in the Pacific Northwest, British Columbia, southern British Columbia, Washington, Oregon, and even Northern California there, dealing with that. So let's go back to Ventus Sky. We're going to visualize again Hilary. So here's Hilary right here. We're going to visualize the wind gusts here. This is the HRRR model. So let's move this along now to Sunday. So you see by tomorrow, you see the winds. The winds are still pretty strong, these wind gusts still. And again, these are areas that are not accustomed to seeing such strong winds, tropical winds here in Baja, California, getting hit hard. And then it starts making its way up into San Diego. You can see in the mountains, look at some of these wind gusts here. So you're going to have that combined with the heavy rain. Trees are going to be coming down. There'll be a lot of power lines coming down. It's not going to be good at all. And you can see here, again, look at these strong winds over here. Places like, again, it looks like San Diego, which is right over here. It's funny how San Diego does not show up on this map. There it is. But in the mountains, that's where there's going to be a lot of wind. So, again, could be a lot of problems. And, again, you have a lot of power lines on those mountains that might come down, even transmission lines. So we could see widespread power outages in that area. And you can see places like Mexico, Yuma as well. Yuma, Arizona also getting in on some of these strong winds here. And then as we move into 7 o'clock tomorrow, you see the strong winds moving up into inland areas here. And then along the coast, too, you see these strong winds as well. L.A. also seeing. So it's not going to help with the rain. These winds are just going to help bring the trees down and the power lines. And it's going to be very, very bad, as you see here. And this is not going to be a good situation at all for Southern California. And we're going to see a lot of devastation. Las Vegas, too, might see some strong winds. And Flagstaff as well. Look at some of these winds for Flagstaff as well. Wouldn't want to be in Flagstaff either, to tell you the truth, because they could be getting a lot of rain as well as a result of this, and flooding as well. I know it is their monsoon season as well. I'm just kind of curious to see precipitation here. You can see some of the rainfall amounts here. This is just 3 hours worth of rainfall. And look at some of these amounts here. So 2 inches in 3 hours. These are the kind of rainfalls you're going to be dealing with. So this is going to be very bad, and especially I think if you're inland of the coast in the mountains, it's going to be very, very bad. You can see it's showing thunderstorms. So we are witnessing yet another natural disaster upon natural disasters, or should I say unnatural, because they're being fueled by us and our insatiable appetite for consumption by burning fossil fuels. So, yeah, that's what happens. So I'm going to wrap up the weather update here. We're going to keep you updated on this whole thing. I'll probably have extra tropical storm or Hurricane Hilary updates tomorrow. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good night, man. Just pray right now. You're going to pray for people in California. Pray for people in Washington, Oregon, British Columbia, all over the world. Humanity is being brought to the brink. And it's time that we really need, it's bad. it's too late. We're screwed. All right, and it's just one by one. Cities and towns are going to be destroyed, and people are going to die as we slowly see the beginning of the extinction, possible extinction, or more, I would say likely extinction of us because of us. That wraps up this weather update. Good night.